Welcome everybody to Seed to Plate. My name is the Stoner Chef Canada. Today on the show, we have a great friend of mine, Alex Snyder.
How's it going, everybody?
He is a chef by trade, right?
Yeah.
You've been taught
I dabble.
You've been taught by some of the best chefs in Canada so far.
Yeah, I've met.
I've
had the pleasure to meet with a couple of them, work with a few.
That's right. So you're one of the top guys to me. One of my friends and somebody that I've worked with over the years together. Alex, welcome.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
No problem. So we're here. Usually this show is about me teaching my chef friends that have no clue about cannabis. But today, it just so happens this guy
I know a thing or two.
knows a thing or
Just
two.
A thing or two.
One or two things. So basically, you want to tell them what I'm talking about? Or?
So I graduated from Niagara College first with a degree in their Culinary Innovation Program. So I basically food science.
Okay.
So I understand how food works on a molecular level as well as just taste and presentation.
Cool. And then you did the cannabis thing?
So yeah, I also had the opportunity of going to AAPS, which is the Applied Academy of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Yeah, it's a mouthful.
Wow.
Thank God it's only 4 letters.
And this was
they were the first government recognized legal cannabis program in Ontario. Actually, I believe it's the first in Canada. It launched a year before legalization.
I remember something about the. Yeah.
I was in the third group of
Graduates?
the third group of students that went through in the first year. So I was part of the first graduating class from that school.
Fantastic.
That was in 2018.
So, quick question. I mean, I've worked, I've done cannabis, but what do they teach you in this school?
The
like, is
school
it just
covers
like a liaison college sort of class? Or
no,
do they actually get into it and teach you the nitty gritty of cannabis?
We had different modules. So for each week I think it was 1 or 2 weeks of module, and we learned everything from how to grow plants. We had a master grower in, and he actually brought in plants for us to learn from, so we could actually see an actual plant.
Cool.
He brought in he brought them in to also show us how to use a mother to make all your clones.
And
so that was
actually from seed to finish, they actually teach you all that.
He gave us the clones and said, "I've given you the information. Let's see what you can do." Every single one of our clones failed, but it didn't stop or deter any of us.
Of course.
We went through all of the regulations and the legal side of things. We learned about how to properly map and set up a LP.
Nice.
So it covered. It was a very broad spectrum. They covered a lot of it.
So they actually cover everything that the government is looking for.
They also went into testing and how they're doing certain types of testing. We used an HPLC meter machine, so that was one of the easiest ways to
do your testing.
To do your testing to extract and find out your levels. So it shows you your cannabinoid levels. And different compounds, chemical compounds, because they go through the machine at different speeds because they cook off faster.
Cool.
Yeah.
See, I mean, I'm not a professional. I'm learning everything one day at a time, like everybody else. I'm a little bit more advanced, but these are things I never knew, right? Like,
yeah, and that's one of the things that they're going to be using a lot is that type of equipment. So they teach us how to do that. They do some basic chemistry, just some of the science that is going to be involved.
Math, a lot of math involved.
Not in this program that I took, thankfully, but the food science, I got a lot of.
Do they teach you on how to be able to get that milligram that you're looking for?
They weren't doing
really
they weren't allowed to go into that kind of area of it.
That's kind of weird. I wonder why would they?
It was prior to legalization. So what they were allowed to talk about at the time, because I was there between.
Yeah, but you said a year before legalization.
I was there.
So you think
I graduated 10 days before legalization.
So do you think now if somebody were to join this, what's it
The
called?
program's definitely
Changed over?
definitely a work. It's a work in progress.
Okay, so
every
it's-
year,
every year they're
every
upgrading.
3 months they're upgrading for the next program.
Cool. And how would somebody be able to register themselves on something like this?
If you Google AAPS, they'll probably be one of your first searches, and AAPS Cannabis, that'll work.
Bring you
That's the
right to
easiest
there?
way. I'm not gonna lie, I got my link in through Facebook,
Cool.
which was weird, and I know a lot of people that saw it at the same time, and I got through luckily.
Cool.
And I have a couple of friends who took the food science course just like me, and the cannabis.
So there's probably a waiting list for something like this.
From my understanding, there's a waiting list for the waiting list. So, but again, as the school builds, and I know when I talked to the dean last, they were working on doing more stuff aimed towards
classes
edibles. They were going to be working on a new facility. So
Cool.
the
So
school
it's going to get bigger.
The school's
and
getting
more.
bigger. The program's getting more developed.
Awesome. So if you ever want to check it out, I mean, we'll have the link up on the website or on the show. So tell me, where did I meet you?
I met you at a barbecue team cook-off, and you got your ass spanked, if I remember correctly, by myself and my fellow teammates.
Yeah. You want to name those guys?
Well, there was Bill, there was Darren, there was Ronnie, and there was
then
Teddy.
there was Ted Reeder,
Mr. Ted Reeder,
Mr.
yeah.
Barbecue Master himself. Of course, it took a champion of 30, 40 years to take somebody like me down. But yeah, no, definitely, that's how we met.
That's how we met.
We've done a few
Few engagements,
things.
few
A
encounters.
wedding. We've done a wedding. We've done that day where we were cooking open cave fire.
Oh yeah. There was a barn party.
Yeah,
there.
a barn
We
party,
did
wedding sort of thing.
A couple of things, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of private events. So now you're going to show me your skills.
Yeah, so you said to come up with an idea, something quick and easy. Well, it's not so much quick or easy, but it's still simple enough. I'm going to do Sunny and Hayes Benny.
Nice.
So it's going to be infused hollandaise
Oh, beautiful.
on a nice simple eggs Benedict and fuzzy French toast.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's going to be an infused French toast in a custard, and we're going to bake that one
THC or
on.
CBD?
The hollandaise is THC,
Right.
And this the French toast is going to be CBD.
Awesome. You want to get started?
Yeah, man, I'm down.
All right, let's go. Let's get in the kitchen.
Well,